All right, we're going to keep going here. So next you have to set up something called Samba. I believe it's how it's pronounced. And it's an acronym, and honestly I don't know what it stands for, but basically it's a way for your Raspberry Pi to talk to your Windows 10 computer. If you understand how operating systems work and that type of thing, you'll realize that not every operating system like Windows understands or can talk to other operating systems. They're just different underlying technologies. So you need some kind of common language, a translator basically, if you will, to be able to talk for the two systems to talk to each other. And Samba is a way to set up Raspberry Pi so that it can recognize and talk to things on a Windows 10 machine. So what you're going to do is you're going to go into Raspberry Pi configuration again. So we'll go here to configuration, and then this time we're going to go to RetroPie setup. So you'll run that, and in here there's a lot of things you can do in here to kind of mess things up. So be a little careful on what you do in here. You don't want to start changing things without knowing what to do. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to the option, let's see, it says we're going to go down to configuration and tools. All right, so I'm going to go down here to configuration and tools, and then in here you probably have something that might say Samba. Yours might look slightly different than mine, but you're looking for SAMBA. That's what you want to do. And so you click that, and then you're going to go ahead and install the Samba Shares feature. So I believe you need internet access for this. So that's why we did the Wi-Fi thing first, because I think this goes out to the internet and downloads it to the internet, I believe. But you're going to go through this step here. So we did that, install Samba. All right, and you're going to do that. So we'll go back over here. We're going to install Samba. And then once you've done that, so we'll install these right here. It's going to do its thing. It says it should go pretty quick. All right, and then what we have to do is, in my case, I've already installed it, but then you have to go back a screen, and this can be a little confusing. So you're going to go back, and I'm going to go back again, and I'm going to go down here to update RetroPie setup script. The reason you have to do this is and it says right here in the instructions here, now choose cancel to back up and then choose up to the choose an option window, and then back to return to the RetroPie setup script. All right, it gets kind of tricky here, but basically what we want to do here is back at this screen where it says update RetroPie setup script. This is going to basically reconfigure everything so that all the changes you made will happen. And then I do believe you have to do another restart. So you would go in here, go down, and by the way, to get to your restart screen, I don't think I've showed you this yet, but if you set up the controller the way I showed you in one of the prior videos, if you press the start button, that'll bring you your main menu, and you can go down here to quit, and you can just hit restart system, and that'll reboot your Raspberry Pi, and then the whole thing will reboot and it'll come back up, and any of the changes you made will be updated. When you're using Raspberry Pi operating system, it's based on Linux, and it can be a lot of times when you make changes, you have to restart the machine for those changes to take effect. So once you've done all that, follow the step directions you see on here, and hopefully you'll see these screenshots on yours as well. But follow these directions, restart, and then we should be getting close to where we're going to actually install the games. Now the last step, or the second to last step before we actually get the games on there, is we're going to set up our Windows 10 machine so it can talk to our Raspberry Pi. So what we just did now is we installed Samba on our Raspberry Pi so it can talk to our Windows 10 machine. Now we need to go to the Windows 10 machine and tell it, hey, I have a Raspberry Pi that I want you to talk to. Because what that'll allow us to do is go on the internet, download our ROMs, and then we can transfer from our Windows 10 computer to our Raspberry Pi. And then you should be ready to play. All right? So give that a shot.